Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Thank y'all for joining today. This is the pre-market mantra. The show will start momentarily. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be wealthy. I deserve to be free. The more you learn, the more you earn. Thereby, the more you earn, the more you learn. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I am confident in my abilities to make great investments. The stock market is a machine, and I am more than capable of operating this machine. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. All right. You know what that sound is? That's the money machine. You know, we finna get some money today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the world, welcome to $1 Trillion Tickers. This is a live market breakdown covering the $1 trillion stocks, plus SPY and the QQQ, plus the SPX 500 and the NAS 100. I cover pre-market levels, opening bell moves, and headlines that are moving the market. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can definitely use this as a foundation for your research. We'll be looking at charts, news, crypto levels, and some motivation along the way. Let's get it. All right, since we covered the $1 trillion companies, let's check out these market caps right quick. NVIDIA market cap 4.2 trillion, Apple 4 trillion, Google 3.6 trillion, Microsoft 3.5 trillion, Amazon 2.4 trillion, Meta 1.6 trillion, Tesla 1.6 trillion, AVGO 1.5 trillion, TSM 1.4 trillion, and Berkshire.B $1 trillion. All right, let's get into these pre-market levels. NVIDIA pre-market low 175.51, pre-market high 177.31. Apple pre-market low 270.51, pre-market high 272.53. Google pre-market low 301.94, pre-market high 304.03. Microsoft pre-market low 484, pre-market high 486.22. Amazon pre-market low 227.11, pre-market high 228.26. Meta pre-market low 661.20, pre-market high 669.60. AVGO pre-market low 329.71, pre-market high 334.51. Tesla pre-market low 486.05, pre-market high 489.90. TSM pre-market low 282.83, pre-market high 286.53. Berkshire.B pre-market low 502.41, pre-market high 503.20. The VIX is currently sitting at 1622. It just dropped 1616. SPY pre-market low 674.80, pre-market high 677.27. QQQ pre-market low 609.94, pre-market high 612.80. SPX, pre-market low, 6,775. Pre-market high, 6,800. And the NASDAQ 100, pre-market low, 25,028. Pre-market high, 25,147. All right, let's check out some news, y'all. Before we check out this news, what we gonna do?
Damn, bro. What you gonna do with all that money?
Make more money.
Okay, and with that money?
Make more money.
And with that money?
Make more money.
It's that simple, y'all. We finna get this bag.
You're more blessed than you think. Sometimes you just struggle to realize how much is in front of you because you're constantly thinking about what you have to obtain. The rich person is not the one who has a lot, but the one that has enough. So you should seek to have enough, inshallah.
Yes. You're going to get some motivation on this show as well. You're going to get the news. You're going to get motivation. You're going to get high-level concepts. You know what I mean? And I'm going to bring it all here on one show. All right, let's get to the news. Okay, today is December 19th, 2025. It is the third Friday of the last month. So that means quad witching. Quad witching is today, and today sets the record for quad witching. This is a tweet from Walter Bloomberg. It says roughly 7.1 trillion in options tied to stocks, ETFs, and indexes are set to expire today, making Friday the largest witching day on record, according to Citigroup strategists. These quarterly events occur when multiple derivatives expire simultaneously and are often associated with volatility as investors roll positions forward. However, Citi analyst shows that volatility is usually lower than expected, with notable exceptions during the pandemic era trading surge. It's quad witching, y'all. Volatility. We might be able to get some discounts today. We'll see. But normally, it's a lot of volatility on quad witching day. Next piece of news is from Squawk. Google Cloud lands a deal with Palo Alto Networks, approaching $10 billion. This post reports a Reuters-sourced multi-billion-dollar deal where Palo Alto Networks commits nearly $10 billion over multiple years to Google Cloud for migrating security services and integrating AI tools like Vertex AI, expanding their 2018 partnership. This marks Google Cloud's largest security agreement, capitalizing on surging AI-driven cybersecurity needs, evidenced by Palo Alto's December 2025 report showing 99% of firms facing AI-linked attacks, bolstering Alphabet's position against AWS and Azure. All right, next piece of news comes from NVIDIA. NVIDIA is joining the U.S. Department of Energy's Genesis mission to help boost AI infrastructure, accelerate open science models, and transform areas like nuclear energy, manufacturing, and robotics. This landmark collaboration aims to double the productivity and impact of U.S. science and engineering and solidify American leadership in AI. This new initiative is integrating supercomputers, AI systems, and datasets to accelerate scientific discovery in fields like nuclear energy and robotics. The collaboration seeks to double U.S. productivity in science and engineering by leveraging NVIDIA's AI infrastructure, building on prior DOE efforts with high performance computing. Public reactions highlight excitement for bolstering American AI leadership alongside concerns about increased energy demands, straining the grid, and shifting focus from consumer GPUs like gaming products. NVIDIA, NVIDIA with their founder Jensen Huang will be hosting an event live at CES 2026 on January 5th, 2026 in Vegas. You can join them for the special presentation. You can network, you can enjoy food and drinks, and get a chance to win exclusive NVIDIA gear from the store. And it'll be live streamed. The event aligns with NVIDIA's dominance in AI hardware, projecting over $300 billion in 2026 revenue from data centers and platforms like Blackwell, as highlighted in recent industry outlooks. All right. Okay, we still got 5 minutes before the market opens. So let me just say this show is brought to you by investing flashcards that I created for y'all. So these are stock market basic flashcards, beginner flashcards for new investors. All you do is you see the question on the front. What is the stock market? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer. You hit next for the next question. What is a stock? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer. So currently I have all these different decks. I'm going to call these decks from the drop down menu. Q&A 1. You go to Q&A 2. What is a brokerage account? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer. Next question. How much money do I need to start investing? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer. And then I also have the ABCs of investing. So each letter gets a word associated with investing. For instance, A is for asset. You hit flip, it'll give you a definition and also an example. B, what is a broker? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer, it'll give you the definition and also an example. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the link to these flashcards inside the chat. So you are able to click on it and get your free access to the flashcards, y'all. They're free. So definitely go ahead and click that link. And if you catch this show later, then I will put the link in the comments. Let me just type this out right quick. Access the free flashcards. Okay. So in the chat, it says access free flashcards. Click the link and you are good money. Let's go, y'all. We finna get rich out here from the market. All right. Back to the charts. Back to the work. Back to the news. All right, I have another piece of news here from NVIDIA. This is from Bernstein. Bernstein analyst Stacy Raskin reiterated an outperform rating and a $275 price target on NVIDIA, despite shares being up about 30% year to date. The stock has lagged the broader semiconductor sector, leading to significant multiple compression. NVIDIA now trades just under 25x forward earnings, near the low end of its 10-year valuation range, and at a rare discount to the SOXX index. Bernstein views the setup as compelling and will be buyers at current levels. So what they saying is NVIDIA is trading on discount right now. And if you want to buy it, it's a good time to buy. So what I like to do, I like to put the all-time high on my chart. And as you can see right here, I have a 15% off level. And I also have a 20% off level. The current price is right in the middle. So you can say NVIDIA is about 17.5% off the all-time high, which is a great entry. Because when it comes to investing, you need to at least look for a 10% discount. 15% off is even better. 20% off is even better. Oh, market open, y'all. Market is open. Market open. Let's go. 6:30 a.m. December 19th, 2025. Market is open. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. NVIDIA 176 is up 1%. Apple just about break even at 272.22. Google a little under break even at 302.19. Microsoft is up 0.5% at 486. Amazon is up 0.25% at 227. Meta a little over break even at 666. AVGO is up about 1.5% at 334.92. Tesla is up almost 1% at 487. TSM is up 1% at 287. Berkshire.B a little under break even at 503. The VIX just gapped down at the open. Now it's under $16, sitting at $15.97. SPY is a little over break even at 677.70. QQQ is headed toward 1% at 613.53. SPX is up a little over 0.5% at 6,803. And the NASDAQ 100 is headed toward 1% to the upside at 25,172. All right, now that the market is open, let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. Hit that refresh button. Oh, remember yesterday we were in neutral, and now the market is back in fear, y'all. Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 43. It is barely in fear. I do like this candle on the NASDAQ 100. That's looking very bullish. All right, let's check out some of our other stocks we like to cover on here outside of the $1 trillion companies. AMD is up over 2.5% at 206. Bitcoin is up almost 3% at 87,900. iBit is up almost 4% at $49.86. Ethereum is up almost 5% at 2,961. BMNR is up over 4% at $29.70. Palantir is up 2.3%. Look at that candle, y'all. At $190. Hood is up 2.4% at $119.91. Grab is back to $5. Is up 1.5% on the day. And XLG is up over 0.5% at $58.87, y'all. All right, let's get back to the news. TikTok to sell U.S. unit to investors, including Oracle, Silver Lake, and Axis. This is from Charles Coney, the Wall Street Consortium on Twitter. This says that TikTok, December 18th, the agreement is to sell U.S. operations to a joint venture led by Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX for a 45% collective stake, resolving prolonged U.S. national security concerns over Chinese ownership of TikTok. Oracle stock rose approximately 5% in the after hours, trading around $189 from $180 close, driven by anticipated revenue from hosting TikTok's U.S. data and operations, as confirmed by Yahoo Finance and MarketWatch. Let's check out the Oracle chart while we're talking about them. Oracle is now trading at $189. You can see how bullish it was in the aftermarket. It was pretty much consolidating in the pre-market today, but it's currently up 0.5%, and it's at 189.50. Next piece of news. I thought this was really cool. This is Google. This is a post from Google on Twitter. Google is currently up almost 0.25% at 303. And check out this video, y'all.
With Gemini 3 Flash, you can learn anything quickly. Let's say I have a final exam that I need to study for. In this case, I've uploaded an audio recording of me explaining a complex topic. I'll ask Gemini to help me identify my knowledge gaps, then create a quiz based on those gaps so I can study for my final. You'll see a quick summary here that highlights the most missed concepts. And now it's time to take the quiz. Not bad, but not great. The key now is to review the answers. Each question should have a short explanation or a reference you can use to dig deeper into the concept. My learning now is active and focused. Bring on the final exam.
That is so dope, y'all. So Google is allowing you to test your knowledge of different subjects. And it's free too. This is a free tool that they're giving the public. So if you want to explain a specific topic, you can tell Google your topic that you need to explain, and it will break it down and find the blind spots in your explanation, and then it will quiz you on it so you have filled in the blind spots, and then you will have a better grasp on the concept that you are trying to give. That is so dope. That is so dope. Very useful. So you don't have, even if you're not in college and you're not taking a final exam, you can just use that on any type of subject. That is so dope. That is so dope. All right, let's check out the heat map, y'all. How we looking? NVIDIA up 2%. Apple, a little over break even. AVGO up almost 2%. Microsoft and Google down a little bit. Meta down almost 0.5%. Amazon down almost 0.5%. Walmart down almost 0.5%. Home Depot down almost 1%. Tesla a little over break even. JP Morgan up almost 1%. Visa and MasterCard up a little over 0.5%. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, all up a little over 1%. Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, down a little over 0.25%. Caterpillar up almost 2%. It's pretty mixed. It's pretty mixed on this heat map, but I do see a lot of green. Do see a lot of green in tech and finance and healthcare. But consumer staples is looking red and gray. Energy is looking green as well. All right, let's check on some more news, y'all. Oh, let's check on Instagram. Shout out to Neighborhood Nip.
It don't happen overnight, and there's going to be moments when it's really, really frustrating, and there's going to be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're going to take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work, appreciating it, when it's good and not stressing too bad when it's bad, just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
Neighborhood Nip. Salute for that game, OG. All right, this is another piece of news from Google. Let's bring Google back up on the chart here. Okay, Google, you can now verify Google AI generated images and videos in the Gemini app. So if you have an image, you can copy it and paste it and upload it into Google Gemini, and it'll let you know if this is an AI created image or video. So currently it's only working for images and videos created with Google. So I'm wondering if these other companies who allow you to create images and videos are going to do the same thing. But I think this is very useful because the better that AI gets at creating images and videos, the less humans are going to know whether it's real or not. And you can see by this dog video that it looks very real. But in actuality, it's an AI generated video. All right, next piece of news is from Tesla. So let's pull up the Tesla chart while we talk about it. This is from Walter Bloomberg on Twitter. Tesla price target raised to $444 at Truist. Truist analyst William Stein raised Tesla's price target to $444 from $406 and maintained a hold rating. The revision follows Truist's updated 2027 estimates for the semiconductor and artificial intelligence sector, while noting challenges around power availability and funding for AI infrastructure. Truist believes AI-focused semiconductor stocks remain undervalued relative to growth. The firm expects continued upside to AI-related estimates and sustained capital expenditure momentum through 2026. So Tesla creates its own chips, and Tesla is really more than just a car company. Tesla is a robotics company. It is an AI company. Basically, a Tesla car is a computer / robot on wheels. So that's why this explanation is for Tesla, even though it may not sound like that directly. Just for a little explanation on that. All right. Another piece of news here. This is from Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank raised its price target to $500 on Tesla from $470. And it underscores sustained optimism about its AI and robotaxi initiatives, following a similar bullish note in early December, citing autonomous tech as a key growth driver. As Tesla closed at $489 on December 18th, the new target suggests a slim 2% upside, potentially stabilizing shares amid recent volatility from EV demand concerns over regulatory hurdles. So that's bullish for Tesla. They got a target of 500. It's close to 500 right now, yes. It did hit the all-time high recently. The current all-time high is 495. So that's bullish for Tesla. All right. This next piece of news is coming from Yahoo Finance. The top 10 stocks now account for roughly 32% of the S&P 500 earnings and over 41% of total market capitalization. Levels not seen at least since the 1980s, according to an analyst from Barclays. This tells us that the S&P 500's top 10 stocks, primarily the Magnificent Seven, which are Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Tesla, plus AVGO, JP Morgan, and Berkshire.B, now represent 41% of market cap and 32% of earnings. This dominance is fueled by AI enthusiasm, has pushed S&P 500 valuations to the 91st percentile of their 10-year range, prompting strategist Venu Krishna to warn of bubble risk amid over-reliance on a few mega caps. Looking ahead, Krishna forecasts a 2026 bifurcation in AI outcomes among these leaders, with potential winners like Google outperforming, highlighting vulnerabilities if AI hype falters. Bifurcation. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. But shout out to that analyst for using that word. Actually, let's look it up, y'all. Let's go on Investopedia. Give me 1 second. Since this is a financial show, let's look up this finance word that I don't know. And you can do the same thing. Okay, Investopedia. I like this website for all things investing, all terms investing. So bifurcation. Okay, so when I typed it here, it gave me one link to one article. It says bifurcation. Bifurcation is splitting one company into two separate divisions, creating two new companies that can sell or issue shares to stockholders. Companies may bifurcate during restructuring for certain tax advantages or to raise capital. Okay, so that's what Google has done, and that's why the analyst had said it. Because Google has two shares that you can buy on the market. They have Google L, which is the one that I own, that gives me voting rights. And then they have Google without the L that gives you ownership in the company but no voting rights. So shout out to the new word we just learned today. Bifurcation. It means splitting the company into two, which allows for different types of ownership, and both will be listed on the stock market. All right. Our next post comes from Dan Ives from Wedbush. These are 10 tech predictions for 2026. Okay, we're going to talk about 10 tech stocks. So let me go on TradingView and let me bring up our chart that has 8 different tickers on it. So let me adjust these right quick. So the tickers from left to right on the top are NVIDIA, Apple, Google, Microsoft. And then on the bottom is Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, and Tesla. All right. So number 1 on the top 10 tech predictions from Dan Ives is tech stocks will be up over 20% in 2026 as the second, third, and fourth derivatives around the AI revolution take shape across software, chips, and infrastructure. Number 2, Tesla will successfully launch robotaxis in over 30 cities in 2026 and start to scale volume production for cybercabs, starting the true autonomous era for Musk and company. Our base case for Tesla is 600 and our bull case is 800. Number 3, Apple and Google will announce a formal AI partnership around Gemini that will finally cement a real AI strategy for Cupertino. This will ultimately be a subscription service launched in the Apple network and lead to Apple achieving a $5 trillion market cap in 2026. Number 4. The best AI infrastructure acquisition candidate is Nebius, in our view, and this company will get acquired by a hyperscaler in 2026, with Microsoft, Google, and Amazon the likely buyers. Number 5. Cybersecurity sector is one of the best outperforming subsectors of the tech landscape, except M&A, with CrowdStrike and Palo Alto our favorite cyber names. Number 6. Oracle successfully builds out its data center targets, starts to convert its massive RPO AI backlog, and hits $250 per share in 2026, despite the dark negative sentiment on the stock today. Number 7. The Trump administration makes an equity investment in a quantum company like IonQ or Rigetti. Those are the top candidates, given the potential national security component to this technology from China. Number 8, Microsoft hits its sweet spot in 2026 as more enterprises accelerate their AI strategic paths with Azure and Redmond. We see Microsoft as a top outperforming cloud software name in 2026. Number 9, the godfather of AI, Jensen, and NVIDIA continue to be dominant in the AI chip world and get further access to the Chinese market through U.S.-China trade negotiations. The street continues to underestimate the demand drivers for NVIDIA in 2026 with our $275 bull case for the stock. And last but not least, number 10, Palantir will expand its commercial AI success in 2026 with AIP and be one of the leaders of the software, being front and center in the AI revolution in 2026, on its way to a $1 trillion valuation over the next 2 to 3 years. That's a lot of bullishness for technology for 2026, y'all. I hope you are a tech bull, because I am a tech bull as well. Most of my portfolio is tech, and this is very bullish for my portfolio in 2026. So I'm very pleased to read this news. All right, let's check out some other tickers we usually check out. All right, let's go over the numbers right quick. NVIDIA up over 3% at 179.46. Apple a little under break even at 272. Google up over 0.25% at 303.49. Microsoft up almost 0.75% at 487.29. Amazon up over 0.25% at 227.54. Meta barely over break even at 665.17. AVGO up almost 2.5% at 337.80. Tesla is at break even at 483.40. TSM is up 1.25% at 288.17. Berkshire.B is down almost 0.25% at 502.24. The VIX is down 7.5% at 1558. SPY is up almost 0.5% at 679.41. QQQ is up over 1% at 616.36. SPX is up almost 1% at 6,822. And the NAS 100 is up over 1.25% at 25,300. All right, let's check out some of our sector ETFs. XLK is up almost 2% at 144. XLY a little under break even at 122.19. XLC is up over 1/4% at 116.81. XLF is up almost 0.5% at 54.77. XLV is up over 0.5% at 154.72. XLP is down almost 1/4% at 79.03. XLE is up over 0.5% at 44.39. XLU is basically at break even at 43.20. XLI is up almost 0.5% at 155.22. And XLE is a little under break even at $40.42. All right, I think we got a couple more pieces of news before we go. Oh yes, this is from Unusual Wells. Trump has signed an executive order committing the United States to return to the moon by 2028. Establish components of a lunar outpost by 2030 and lay the groundwork for a future mission to Mars. The order's broader American space superiority framework emphasizes defending U.S. assets from orbital threats and boosting private sector roles, potentially benefiting companies like SpaceX, as highlighted by Elon Musk's enthusiastic reply. So Trump said we going back to the moon, y'all. Trump said we are going back to the moon as a country. I find it very interesting that they say we went to the moon in the 60s, but we didn't go back to the moon in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now we're going back in the 2020s. I don't know if we ever went there, because why would we stop going back? What they need to do is let people pay to go to the moon. They should probably have, I don't know, 10, 20 people at a time. Probably 10 people. But they should just let people pay to go to the moon. I think that would be dope. I would actually do it. I mean, I don't know how much they'll be charging, but if the price wasn't crazy, I'd do it. I mean, I wouldn't do it the first year it came out. But I would do it, though. That's dope. All right. I think we had something else from Instagram. Yes. Nas. The legend Nas. He's not only a great rapper, he's also a great investor. One of the greatest of all times. Especially one of the greatest investors of all time. After founding Queensbridge Ventures, one of Nas' first fortes in the world of stocks and IPOs, his role in helping fund cryptocurrency behemoth Coinbase that same year. Joining a group that included Kevin Durant, Ben Horowitz, and Union Square Ventures, Nas is believed to have raked in between $41 million and $206 million from his investment. He invested between $100,000 and $500,000, and those are his potential returns. Wow. Just generational wealth being created. As of 2025, Coinbase is valued between $85 billion and $100 billion. Let's actually pull up Coinbase on the chart while we're talking about it. All right, let's check out the daily. Coinbase looks like it hit a high in July of $444. It is definitely in a downtrend right now, because crypto is in a downtrend, because this is probably when Bitcoin was at 126,000. Bitcoin is currently under 90,000, so I'm pretty sure that's why Coinbase is in this downtrend. But he still ran the bag up regardless. All right. This next article is about the company Ring. After rebranding from its original name Doorbot to Ring, as we know it today, in 2013, the tech company garnered funding from Nas and the Queensbridge Ventures. Queensbridge Ventures put $4.5 million into the company, among other early adopters. Fast forward to 2018, when Amazon bought Ring for $1 billion, and Nas' initial investment yielded $40 million. That's a 10x return, y'all. $40 million return. Salute to Nas, man. Just incredible. Just incredible, man. All right, let's talk about his investment in Lyft. Amid the ride-sharing words between Lyft and other companies during the 2010s, Nas and Queensbridge Ventures bet big on the company, which paid off big in the long run. While the exact amount of Nas' investment into Lyft or return hasn't been publicized, his involvement in the company's growth and foresight was further evidence of his business acumen. And Robinhood, he also invested in Robinhood alongside Snoop Dogg, Index Ventures, and some other folks. So Nas invested in Robinhood, y'all, early. And y'all know the returns that Robinhood have got in the past 12 months. Robinhood is up over 200% in the past 12 months. And Nas invested pre-IPO. So they're saying that Nas invested around 300. Nas got let me see. Nas invested in Robinhood early, valued under 300 million, and now is valued at 32 billion, which is 100x return. All right, we don't know how much he invested, but he got a piece of that 100x return. It's probably even more right now because the stock ran up so much this year. I don't know when this article came out, but it's now December. Dropbox. Nas invested in Dropbox in its early VC rounds when it was valued under $1 billion and it IPO'd at $12 billion. That's a 12x return, y'all, for Dropbox. PillPack. PillPack was valued under $300 million when it got acquired by Amazon for $1 billion. That's a 3 to 5x return. Other investors were Carmelo Anthony, Peyton and Eli Manning, Mike Dunleavy Jr. They all got the bag from this, y'all. They all got the bag, y'all. He got more, but I'm not going to keep on reading. You get the point, man. Nas is a great investor, and he created generational wealth through investing pre-IPO through his venture capital fund, Queensbridge Ventures. Salute to that brother, man. Salute to that brother. Definitely inspirational. And I hope other hip-hop legends follow in his footprints and can make that bag. Salute to Nas, y'all. All right, so before we go, let me do another quick demo of my free flashcards for y'all. So these are my flashcards that I created for Black people and other people who don't know anything about the stock market. Because I would ask people, are you invested in the stock market? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, why? And they'll be like, because I don't know anything about it. So what I did was I created these beginner flashcards to give them the knowledge to feel comfortable talking to me about investing and also investing in the market themselves. All right, so I have something on here called the ABCs of investing. If you click the last one at the bottom, that'll give you the full deck. So each letter comes with a term associated with investing. So A for asset, hit flip, it'll give you the definition. B for broker, hit flip, it'll give you the definition. C for capital, hit flip, it'll give you the definition. And you can also go up here to these Q&As. So I have Q&As on here. Basically just beginner questions that people would ask me or people would have but not ask me. What is a brokerage account? You hit flip, it'll give you the answer. Hit next. How much money do I need to start investing? Hit flip, it'll give you the answer. So the link right now is in the chat for my free flashcards that I created. I will also put the link in the comments if you end up watching this after the live stream has ended. All right. So one last go over the current prices. NVIDIA 179.82, Apple 271.33, Google 303.80, Microsoft 487.11, Amazon 226.99, Meta 662.68, AVGO 337.73, Tesla 483, TSM 289, Berkshire.B 502, the VIX is at 1545, SPY is at 679, QQQ is at 616, SPX is at 6,827, and the NAS 100 is at 25,300. All right. At the end of the show, I like to play a couple songs that I created using Suno. It's the best AI music creating app out there. And they have a free version of it where you can make like 10 songs a day for free without even having to pay. So check it out, y'all. All right. The first song I normally play is from my motivational melodic music genre that I created. And then the second one is going to be a hip-hop song that I created. All right. Let's see. Let's see, y'all. Let's see. So I made this with the idea that we got to unify in order to make this money in this market, y'all. We got to unify so we can rise together financially and as a people.
So we sharpen our minds. Freedom ain't no wish, it's a right we take. Gotta move with intention, no time for mistakes. We building higher from the ashes, yeah we rise. We won't be silent, no more tears in our eyes. We own our time, we own our dreams. Ain't nobody gonna stop history. We breaking chains, we touch the sky. Together we rise, together we fly. We rise together, stronger than before. We own the future, open every door. Free to make free, but we paid the price. Now we building wealth, lifting up our life. Media paint the picture, but we changing the frame. They can use
Can you believe that's AI, y'all? Can you believe that's AI? I made that song using AI. That's dope. Alright, and next will be a hip-hop song. It's called Twice the Hustle, y'all.
Twice the hustle. Black born on probation, that's life. Working double time with no credit in sight. Black excellence, I'm rising despite. Born on probation, that's the hand we dealt. Twice as wise, gotta say what I felt. Working twice as hard, but they turn a blind eye. Little prop shown, still I'm reaching for the sky. Up before the sun, hustling till it's late. Dressed twice as sharp, I'm changing my fate. Systemic walls, but I'm pushing through. Black excellence, I'm making it true. Every struggle, every tear I roll. Oh, twice the hustle, I'm letting it show. Twice the hustle, I'm going to strive. Working double time, but I'm feeling alive. Black excellence, I'm rising so tall. No credit shown, but I'm answering the call. Twice the hustle, yeah, I'm standing so strong. Born on probation, but I'm where I belong. Systemic fight, I'm breaking the hold. Black excellence, I'm shining like gold. Hustle non-stop, that's the way I roll. Twice the work, got a fire in my soul. They set the bar high, but I'm lifting higher. Proving my worth with the early retire. No accolades, but I won't slow down. Building my future, I'm claiming my crown. Born on probation, but I'm rewriting the rules. Black excellence, I'm breaking these fools. Every struggle, every tear I roll. Oh, twice the hustle, I'm letting it show. Twice the hustle, I'm born to strive. Working double time, but I'm feeling alive. Black excellence, so rising so tall. No credit shown, but I'm answering the call. Twice the hustle, yeah, I'm standing so strong. Born on probation, but I'm where I belong. Systemic fight, I'm breaking the hold. Black excellence, I'm shining like gold. Twice the hustle, I'm whole. Yeah, black excellence, it's in my soul. I'm so fierce. I'm going so bright through the fight. Yeah, I ignite. Twice the hustle. Yeah, black excellence. Twice the hustle, yeah. Black excellence. Twice the hustle. I'm whole. Yeah, black excellence inside my soul. I'm so fierce. I'm glowing so bright through the fight. Yeah, I ignite. Twice the hustle. Yeah, black excellence. Twice the hustle. Yeah, black excellence.
That's it, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for charting. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.